Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I got a story that I seen last night that I could not believe, but this is something that needs to be addressed. And not just from a surface standpoint of how gruesome and nasty it is, but it's something that we really need to dive deep into and see that this is a common problem that a lot of people don't speak about, and a lot of people don't try to fix. And it's child neglect. This story that I'm about to show you involving this woman right here. And no, that's not old dirty bastard from the Wu-Tang Clan. This lady right here is 30-year-old Shaisha Knight of Pensacola, Florida. And she's been under arrest since last Tuesday for something that I don't even think should have ever happened. Anyway, I don't want to tell you about the story. I want to jump into this real fast, let you guys see this, and then just come back and really talk about this situation. And yes, this is considered juggernaut behavior to an extent, and she does have a species name. And I'm sure you want to stick around to hear it. Without further ado, look at the video. We're going to come back and do what we do. Check it out.
Florida's Department of Children and Families relocated 6 children today who they say were living in terrible conditions in an Escambia County home. One child had to be rushed to a pediatric intensive care unit at Sacred Heart Hospital, and 30-year-old Shaisha Knight, now charged with aggravated child abuse and child neglect. WEAR's Brent Carney spoke to Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons today about the case. Brent?
Yeah, good evening, Bob. Sheriff Simmons says the child who went to the hospital tested positive for THC in his blood. The children in the home ranged from ages from 1 to 11.
This is one of the worst ones that we've seen.
30-year-old Shaisha Knight's children were being cared for by a babysitter in their home on the 1800 block of St. Joseph Street in Escambia County. Someone called 911 anonymously to tell authorities that the children were being neglected. Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons says deputy knew something was wrong before they even entered the home.
When we get there, 2 of our deputies arrive. The windows are open, and as they approach these windows, they can actually smell the smell of urine and feces and rotten food from inside of the apartment.
The arrest report says deputies found a mess when they went inside. The 15-year-old babysitter and 6 of Knight's children were surrounded by a soiled mattress, a cockroach infestation, feces, and maggots inside of a toilet. And the home had no running water. One child was rushed to the hospital after slipping in and out of consciousness. Doctors found THC in his system.
But to consider the fact that there was, again, feces and urine, rotten food, maggots, in and throughout this apartment, no running water, no healthy food there for them to eat. It just makes you just sick to your stomach.
The Department of Children and Families deemed the home unhealthy for children, and they were taken to a safe location.
How often do deputies respond to these sort of conditions?
I'd say we respond too often. We do, on occasion, get calls from people saying, hey, you need to check these children out, because they're good people. They care about children. If they see something that they're concerned about, then they will give us a call.
And the sheriff's office is looking into possible charges against the grandmother of the 15-year-old babysitter for allowing the team to go into the home. Shaisha Knight is now being held in the Escambia County Jail without bond. Live in the studio.
All right, guys, that was the story about the 5 children that were found in the house, and they were all put in, I guess, CPS, that's what they call it out there, the state's custody. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Normally, stories like this, I go off on them. But I want to point something out before I even get into this. There are a lot of women out here that are overwhelmed and have a lot of children. And I think a lot of younger women that don't have children need to really think about the decisions that they make when they deal with certain type of dudes, or just if they have goals in life, how to go about doing them without children. Children are not a necessity when you first get out of high school or when you're with somebody. Getting your life straight is finding a good man and understanding what a good man is before you get into situations like this. Now, I'm not blaming men. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming men for this woman's situation, because with 5 children, you got to be having some type of help. Nasty is nasty. If you're not keeping a clean house, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Cleaning supplies don't cost nothing. And you got 5 children. Some of them is of age where they can help you clean up and you can instill that in them. Hey, listen, this is all we have. We have it together. Let's clean up. Children don't listen to what you say. They listen to what you do. So the reflection of that house is a reflection of your actions. That's the way I see it. But sometimes, like I said, with 5 children, that's overwhelming. This right here, though, like they say, it screams neglect. Totally disgusting. You know what I'm saying? It's no excuse for the dirtiness. They said the mattresses were soiled. Soiled mattresses. I don't know if that means with urine or just fecal matter or what have you, but the soiled mattresses said the house stank the way they had to open the windows. Then you got a 15-year-old girl in the house, not related, whose mother should be in trouble for letting her go over there and witness that. How can you have a house that nasty and you allow people to get in there? You know why? You don't give a damn. Some people get used to the smell. Like this chick right here. This is totally unacceptable. Species name, Juggernautus shitty houses. You had a bedpan in the house full of feces, urine, and maggots. What kind of social traits and hygiene are you teaching these children, man? No running water. How you don't have no running water? Water is the cheapest utility to pay. I don't understand. You can blame anybody you want. You're still an adult. You've been around the luxuries. You don't have to live like you in a third world country. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, where you ain't got all these anemones like you got in America and make your children live like that. I don't understand it. Where these kids' fathers at? Are they even visiting the kids? Because I'm not lying. If I went over there and I seen my daughter was living like that, all hell would break loose. The state would be there immediately. My child would be out of there. Guys, do you know how hazardous it is to smell urine and fecal matter? Seriously, think about it. Urine and fecal matter. This thing right here is disgusting. Species name, Juggernautus shitty houses. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I mean, this right here, I mean, it's making my skin crawl. You let people witness that. You wasn't there and had a babysitter. You let somebody from the neighborhood come in there and see that filth. You know they talk about it, but maybe they might be scared of it. I don't know. Either way, children should not be raised in an environment like that. They shouldn't. You can blame it on whoever you want, picking up a broom or whatever. I know it's a dollar store around there. It ain't like you don't come in contact with some funds. You could have did something because your babies don't deserve that. You can be poor and be clean. You can be stressed out and be clean. You got 5 kids, you should be fucking clean. Think about it. If she lived in that house, could you imagine as a dude how she keep her upkeep? And I don't remember to be graphic with that. You 30 years old? How was you raised? And like a lot of times, guys, a lot of the times you're starting to see now, younger generation, people that are younger generation, they're doing stuff and creating environments for their children that they wasn't even in. I'm sure she probably wasn't raised that way. Sometimes when you are hit, and I want younger women to hear this, when you're hit with an abundance of children, you're being pulled in a lot of different directions. Each child has its own needs. You know, the responsibility increases. If you do not set up financially before you have a child, and I want you to hear me on this, children will break you. They'll make you go broke. I'm sure this woman, before she had her first child, had dreams and aspirations just like everybody else. Had one baby, boom, another baby, boom, another baby, boom. As the family increases, the hopes and dreams of her doing what she wants to do decreases. Having children is a sacrifice. It is. You know, This is not something you care for about 3 to 6 months, and then it just goes off on its own, and then you can look back and say, hey, I did the right thing. This is an 18-year plus commitment, depending on if they go to college or not. And every child is not the same, so you can't cookie cutter parent each one. They all have specific needs and personalities. She should know this. You out here with 5 children living in filth. No excuse. I mean, this shit make me throw up, go in the back of my mouth. Guys, leave me a comment, man. Tell me if y'all agree or disagree with what I say. This should be a warning to a lot of people out there, especially younger ladies, especially younger guys. Make sure you are taken care of and you got your stuff in order before you even bring a life into this world, because sometimes you get situations like this. Another thing I'm going to say that might be controversial is when you don't have a lot of you guys out there that got little girls and stuff like that, you can't get along with the mom, and you're just like, and like they drive you out of the baby's life. Sometimes you get situations like this where a woman will crave the compassion, the companionship of a man, wind up having a lot of kids. Now, I don't know if this is this case. Get overwhelmed and get lost in despair. We got to be there for our kids. We got to teach them and use these situations for teaching points. Sometimes you can be so buried in yourself and the misery, it's hard to get out of that, and depression takes hold and things like this happen. And in defense of her, I think, or I hope that's the reason. Because I could have went really hard on this lady from what I've seen, but for everything that comes out on the news, there's a buildup. And I was just trying to examine that. But yeah, juggernaut of shitty houses, the worst kind. Go up in there, the urine to make your eyes go blind. Jesus Christ. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope these children are in a better place, and I hope they don't have to go back to that situation, because that's trifling. Just for them to say that on the news, yuck. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.